Fahadh Faasil is coming up with a Macbeth adaptation, Joji, I think by Dilesh Pothan. So what are your expectations on that?
Pretty much anything Fahad does, I mean, yeah, it's like I'm like it's just fantastic because yeah, he has a way of being people that's interesting. I mean, it's very difficult to talk about actors in general because I find it easier to talk about actors when I'm talking specific performances. But what Fahad does, I think he also has a great eye for scripts, and when I saw Trance, I was just blown away by just how much he could modulate from that, from that shy, hesitant person at the beginning to that incredible preacher, and then kind of have that journey. It's like you cannot almost think of another actor who can pull that off, which is actually not the right thing to say because somebody else would have done it in a different way. That's all. But then when you have this in mind, and he pulls it off so beautifully, and then at the same time you have an almost static performance like Trance, see you soon, where he's practically just pretty much seated most of the time and in front of a computer or something like that, and he's just acting with his face and his like. So I think it's really when he is coming together with Dilesh again and doing a Macbeth adaptation. Macbeth is one of my favorite plays along with King Lear. And I'm not such a big fan of Hamlet, but I'm like among the tragedies, definitely Macbeth and King Lear, and I really want somebody to adapt King Lear in in a southern language. I don't know why. It's maybe because the character is old, but that would be amazing because it's such a fantastic melodramatically involving plot. But yeah, Macbeth is great, and it would be great to see what they do with it because one of my favorite Macbeth adaptations is the one by Roman Polanski, and Orson Welles did a great Macbeth as well. And when you see that, you realize that even though the text is the same, the visual flavor that each one brings to it is different. I've seen a fantastic Tulu adaptation of Macbeth as well called Paddai, which was
Yes, yes.
released I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a story that lends itself. And there, they brought a folk element to the witches, where there was a folk element that kind of represented that. And so I think, and then of course there's a famous Throne of Blood which Kurosawa did, which is the iconic. That the when I was a kid, it was one of my favorite shots. That arrow going through Toshiro Mifune. I'm like, how did they do it? Did the guy really die? Because it's a trick arrow, right? Because it goes in, like it pierces his neck. And as a kid, I was like, wow, what just happened there? So yeah.
Yeah.